Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. Just real quick before we get started. We're already started. This is just the first thing I want to say. I released my short film. I just was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it. So I released it. It's out. You can check it out. It's on my YouTube page. My main YouTube page, J Lines. So I'll leave a link to that in the description, so you can go check out that short film. It's your boy's acting debut. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was first. Well, I mean, not really, but it's my first leading role. Is what I'll say. It's my first role where like I'm actually important. So it's your boy's acting debut. All right. I gotta say, I'm probably the best. I'm like the best part of the entire short film. Not to pat myself on the back or anything, but but yeah, it's out. Against my better judgment. But you know what? I'm just like, you know what? You gotta take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you miss. It's a hit or miss, and I guess I miss. Huh? Does anyone understand that reference? But yeah, you gotta take the good with the bad. So I released it. It's out. You can check it out. It's on my channel. Just to just to remind you guys, okay, when you watch the short film, when you watch the video, and you're thinking about posting a hateful comment like, "Oh my God, this shit sucks," just know that I agree. All right, just already, you don't need to say it because I already know. I already know it's shitty. But it is what it is, I guess. So I released it. Had a few people going like, "Oh, you should post it. I want to see it." And I'm like, "No, I don't really want to." But you know what? Yeah, fuck it. It's out. I mean, I got like a short film playlist on my channel, and there's only one video in there, and so I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta add something else to it, So, yeah, so I released it. I just figured, yeah, might as well just release some of these short films. But yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to, let you guys know that that's out. That's the first thing I want to say was that short film's out. You can check it out if you want to. It's on my main channel. And, yeah. So anyways, welcome back to the pod. It's your boy, Jay Lyons, back in sunny-ass Florida. I mean, I never really left, but it's just like, it's warm again, It's like 70, it's like 75 degrees outside or some shit, It's a little overcast, so it's like it's not sunny, but it's like 75 degrees outside, So I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. It's January. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, it was just raining yesterday, I mean, not like a ton, but it was just raining yesterday. So like, usually that brings on some sort of cold front. And we get some like cold days, but no, we had cold days. Like, dude, it was like in the 40s, 50s. Okay. For some people, that's not that cold, but for us Floridians, that's pretty damn cold. Okay. So it was cold for a few days, and now it's just like, 75 degrees. Now, when I say it was like in the 50s and 40s, I mean it was only like that in the morning, okay? That's the thing about Florida. What sucks about Florida is like, it's so difficult to figure out what you're going to wear for the day, Because like, you'd be looking at the weather and it's like, it's 42 degrees outside, and you're like, holy shit, I got to bundle up, Us Floridians have to bundle up, so I got to wear pants, a sweatshirt, and then probably like a jacket over it. You know what I mean? But then you check like the weather for like the rest of the day, and it gets up to like 80 by noon. And you're like, okay, so I can't be wearing 2 layers today because it's going to be in the 80s, So it was like kind of me yesterday, I decided to go out to Disney to do some work because it's way more fun working out at Disney than here. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna hit up Disney, and like in the morning it was like in the 50s, it was like the low 50s, and so I had pants and a sweatshirt on, And then by midday, it was like in the 70s, and I was hot as fuck, and I had to take the sweatshirt off. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like I plan a whole fit around wearing pants and a sweatshirt, and then I'm basically required to like downsize halfway through the day, It just kind of sucks, It's like, you're trying to plan a fit, and the weather's like, yeah, well, that fit's not going to work. It's especially like that when I go to like theme parks and it's like cold in the morning and then it's like hot in the midday, because I like wearing pants more than shorts. Okay. I wear shorts probably more often, but I like wearing pants. I just think they look better, so like fit wise, I'm more of a pants dude. Okay. And like when I go to like Universal, sometimes it's like cold and I'm like, okay, sweet, I can put on pants, but then it's like going to be in the 70s or 80s by midday. And so now I have to like decide, okay, do I wear pants and then a t-shirt, or do I wear a sweatshirt and shorts? Because like you can only wear one or the other. You can't wear pants and a sweatshirt because then it's going to be too hot. You could wear shorts and a t-shirt, but it's a little bit too minimal for January. I mean, goddamn, dude, we got like 9 months out of the year where it's just hot as balls outside. I got more than enough time to wear t-shirts and shorts, okay? I'm going to take what time I have to wear sweatshirts and pants, But it's so difficult to plan when to wear them both, Because it's never like 40 consistently throughout the day. Like it always gets up to like 70, Only like a couple days out of the year will it actually stay cold enough that you can wear that type of fit for the whole day. And it's usually just like a day or two after it rains during the winter. Because like when it rains, like I said, it usually brings in some sort of cold front. And it's like in the 40s and 50s all day for a couple of days. And then it's like back up to 70s and 80s. And then you're like, shit, now I got to wait for it to rain again so the cold front can come back through, But today was the opposite. It rained yesterday and now it's hot. It's hotter today than it was yesterday and the day before that, I can't win, Trying to plan fits and I can't, like I was not expecting to wear a shorts and t-shirt. I was not planning on wearing that. I actually laid out pants the night before. I was like, yeah, I'm going to wear those pants tomorrow. And I wake up and it's like, it's 70 already. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Okay. So I guess I'm wearing shorts. Sorry, pants, going back in the closet. You're going to have to wait until it gets cold again, But yeah, I don't know. Just it sucks sometimes, planning fits. Sometimes I'm in like, sometimes you like bite the bullet and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm wearing pants and a sweatshirt, and then it's just hot as fuck throughout the day, You're like sweating your ass off. You know what I mean? Like when I went to Universal just recently, was it like 2 weeks ago at this point? I don't know. But when I went to Universal just recently, I was trying to plan a fit, and I used to usually bring like a backpack when I go to theme parks, like a whole ass backpack, And after a while, I'm like, okay, it's just, I really don't think I got enough stuff to warrant a whole backpack, So I started bringing just a fanny pack, and then this past time, I didn't want to bring anything. I didn't want to bring any sort of bag. I'm like, I just want to bring enough just for my pockets, like I don't want to have like a bag and shit. You know what I mean? Because now you got to plan a fit that includes the bag, And I don't know. I'm not very good when it comes to planning with bags. Okay, I could plan with just clothing, but when you start incorporating some accessories, like rings, bracelets, necklaces, bags, I start tripping up. I'm like, I don't know. This isn't my forte. This isn't what I usually wear. Like I don't walk around with a fanny pack all the time. And I only use a backpack for school. So it's like you gotta do what you gotta do. So it's like I'm not used to planning with all these accessories. So I don't want to bring a bag. And the problem is that if you don't bring a bag, if it gets too hot and you gotta take off your sweatshirt, you gotta hold that shit. I don't want to hold it either. I want free hands. You know what I mean? And if you're like, well, tie it around your waist. Absolutely not. You want to talk about like the worst fit idea? Tying a sweatshirt around your waist. Okay, that's the worst. It's the worst idea you could have for a fit. Dog, what are you doing? You know? So bad. So no, I'm not doing that. You know, so if I'm wearing a sweatshirt, I am like not taking it off if I don't have a bag. You know? So like when I went to Universal, I'm like, okay, do I want to wear pants or, you know, do I want to wear a sweatshirt? And I ended up going with shorts and a sweatshirt, even though I really wanted to wear pants. I was so looking forward to wearing pants, but it wasn't cold enough throughout the whole day to warrant me wearing pants and a sweatshirt, you know? So, you know, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's Florida weather for you, man. But yeah, so yeah, I went to Disney yesterday, like I said, just to do some work, you know, because my dumbass completely forgot that it was like a holiday, you know? It was Martin Luther King Day yesterday. My ass completely forgot that it was like a holiday. Well, I forgot it was a holiday where I didn't have to go to class, you know? And I ended up having a class on Monday. I'm scheduled to have a class on Monday. You know, I really didn't want to, you know, but that's how it happens, I guess, you know. So I'm scheduled for a class Monday morning from like 9 to whatever, you know. So I got up early and I was like looking forward to hitting up some Barney's, getting some Santa's White Christmas latte, and I get to campus and I'm like, damn, it's like strangely empty, like even for early in the morning. You know, because I usually get there an hour early, you know, like class starts at 9, so I usually get there at like 8, you know, if I have a morning class like that, so I have time to go get my coffee and then get to class, you know. And so I'm pulling up, it's strangely empty, even for like a 9 a.m. class, you know, and park my car, I get out, and like I just exited the parking garage when I'm like, you know what it probably is? It's probably there's no classes today because it's a holiday, you know? Because there was no one. The parking garage was empty. There was no one walking around. And I'm like, okay, yeah, my ass fucked up, you know? But I was like, hey, I'm here on campus. How about I hit up the lab and do some editing? You know, because I got some like editing projects that I'm working on, you know? So I'm like, why don't I just hit up the editing lab, you know? And I was going to hit up Barney's, but then it started raining like bad. And so I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm not going to walk all the way over there to get some Barney's and then walk all the way back to go to the editing lab. So I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to check to see if the editing lab is even open, you know? And so I walk over there and that building's fucking closed. I couldn't get in. And I was like, damn it, dude. You know, I can't even, I can't even do some work while I'm here. So I figured, you know, while I'm out and about this early in the morning, just head on over to Disney, do some work there, you know? So that's what I did. And it was nice. Honestly, I got a shit ton of work done. I was surprised, you know? Like, not that I don't get a whole lot of work done here, but it's just like I felt way more engaged in doing my work when I was out there than I was here, you know? So it's honestly, it's kind of a good idea. So I'm like, maybe I'll do that more often, you know? And it's kind of tight going around. You know, the only thing that sucks though is that like, you know, I used to hotel hop a lot around the Disney hotels, specifically around Christmas, you know, because they would have like the Christmas decorations up, and I usually hit up the ones on the monorail track. If you've been to Disney World here in Florida, like you'll understand what I'm talking about, right? There's like a monorail that goes around a lake and it hits up basically all the high-end resorts. The only one that's not included is the Wilderness Lodge, but you could take a boat from the Contemporary to the Wilderness Lodge, and the Contemporary is on the monorail track, you know. Anyways, getting way too technical. But anyways, so usually when I hotel hop, I park at the Polynesian, you know, and you go up to the security gate, and usually, because they usually have like a shit ton of parking there. I think the Polynesian has, of like all the resorts, has like the most parking available. And so usually like, you can go up to the security booth and be like, yo, I'm here to hotel hop, basically. And they'll be like, oh, okay. And they'll let you in and you park and you just hotel hop. And then when you're done, you you go back to the Polynesian, go in your car, and you leave, you know? But I don't know what happened, you know? Maybe they're like, we need to start charging these people or something like that because, you know, you would technically park for free. But they don't do that anymore. So, like, I pull up to the Polynesian to hotel hop, or at least, you know, get to my destination, because I was trying to head to the Wilderness Lodge. That's where I was headed to. So I was going to park at the Polynesian, take a monorail to the Contemporary, and take a boat to the Wilderness Lodge. But she's like, if you don't have a reservation here, I can't let you in. You know, like, you have to show proof that you have a reservation. And I'm like, what? You gotta do that now? I used to, for years, I parked here to hotel hop. You know what I mean? And during Christmas, you know, where it's like peak times, you know, busy. So they're like, yeah, no, you can't do that anymore. So I'm like, okay, so now what am I going to do? You know, so my only idea was to drive to Disney Springs and hop on one of the buses to the Wilderness Lodge. So that's what I did. It was, you know, I guess it was like a little bit out of the way, you know, adds a little bit more complication to everything. Because, like, trying to get your ass back, you know, because there's not a whole lot of buses that go from, like, resorts to Disney Springs, which is weird, you know. But yeah, so I went to the Wilderness Lodge, was chilling there, got some coffee, you know, some Disney coffee. It's a little more expensive, but, you know, those cups are iconic, though, man. I mean, the cups that the coffee comes in. Like, I remember that shit when I was a kid, and so I had to get some in those coffee cups, you know. So anyways, yeah, I did some work, and then about like midday, I wanted to, like, switch it up, like, go to a different resort, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, let me take a boat to the Contemporary and hop on the monorail and go to the Grand Floridian, right? At least that was my plan. That's what I was gonna do. Okay. And so I go to the docks at Fort Wilderness, or the Wilderness Lodge, I mean. I go to the docks, and the Contemporary boat is not operating. They're like, oh, this doesn't operate until like 3 p.m. And I'm like, what? Why? This used to run all day, you know? So the only boat that was open was taking you to the Magic Kingdom, you know? So I was like, okay, I guess that's fine, because the way the monorail goes, at least it's supposed to go, it usually goes counterclockwise, you know? So you're at the Magic Kingdom, the next stop is the Grand Floridian. Then you go to the Polynesian, Transportation and Ticket Center, Contemporary, back to the Magic Kingdom. Like, that's the usual route that it takes, okay? So I'm like, okay, I guess that's not that bad. It's just one stop, you know, just get off the boat, go right up to the monorail, go to the Grand Floridian, you know? So I get on the boat, and since there wasn't a whole lot of people getting on the boat, you know, it was like me and just like 2 other people. And so I thought the dude was just going to, like, take off, you know, but he's like, no, we're going to wait for more people. So we sat there for like 30 fucking minutes waiting for more people to show up. And only, like, over the course of the time, only 4 more people showed up. And I was like, okay, could you not have just, like, driven to the Magic Kingdom and then driven back and picked up those 4 people on a second trip? I mean, like, really? It's not like you're paying for the gas for the boat. Okay, the company is. So it's like, if there's no cost to you. You know what I mean? And plus, what's more fun? Okay, it's your job, okay, driving the boat, right? But what's more fun? Driving the boat, or just standing at the dock waiting for people to come up to the boat and get on? You know what I mean? Driving the boat sounds way more fun. So, like, I would want to drive as much as possible. You know, so I would have just gone. That's me. I would have just gone, you know. I can only imagine with the other 2 people that were there before me, how long they were waiting. You know what I mean? Because I was waiting 30 minutes. Anyways, yeah, so we picked up, like, the 4 other people, and we go to the Magic Kingdom, and just went straight up to the monorail, and then I had to wait for 30 minutes for the fucking monorail to show up, you know? And I'm like, God damn, you know, like, why is it taking so long, you know? And then the worst part is that it's going the wrong direction. Now it's going clockwise. So now when you're at the Magic Kingdom, the next stop is the Contemporary. Then it's the Transportation and Ticket Center. Then it's the Polynesian. Then it's the Grand Floridian. And so I'm like, okay, so now instead of just my destination just being the next stop. Now I got to wait like 4 stops for the Grand Floridian. But I was like, it is what it is. I can't walk up to the monorail guy and say, hey, can you go the other direction, counterclockwise? Because he'd be like, no. What? No, I can't do that. So it is what it is, I guess, So I hopped on the monorail, then I had to stop at every single stop. Finally made it to the Grand Floridian, and by the time I made it to the Grand Floridian, it was like 2. It took me like 2 fucking hours to go from the Wilderness Lodge to the Grand Floridian. You know what I mean? Like that was a bit much. So yeah, it was like 2 o'clock, and I wanted to leave around 3, because traffic is going to get crazy at 4 when you're at Disney. Okay, traffic around that whole fucking area is insane, especially Disney Springs. Okay, so I wanted to get out of there before it got nuts, So I didn't really do that much work while I was at the Grand Floridian. I kind of just like walked around a bit. I did sit for a little bit, do a little bit more work, but I pretty much just had to get up and leave anyways as soon as I got there. So yeah, so packed up and left, got back on the monorail. Because I was like, what place is going to have the most buses, the Magic Kingdom. Because they got 3 rows of just a shit ton of buses. So I'm like, if anything is going to have a bus back to Disney Springs, it's probably going to be the Magic Kingdom, right? So I hop on the monorail, and luckily this time it was just the next stop because once again it's going clockwise now. So get back to the Magic Kingdom and walk over to the buses, and I go up to like the directory that tells you like the number bus and like where that bus is going. So I'm looking for Disney Springs, and there's no Disney Springs, right? And I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. So I'm trying to look for like the thing that's closest to us, or closest to Disney Springs. And so, and luckily they had one that goes to Saratoga Springs, which is a resort that's just right across the little lake or pond, whatever you want to call it, of Disney Springs. It's just like, if you ever gone to Disney Springs and you go up to like the waterfront, you look across and there's like a resort there, that's Saratoga Springs. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go there and then just walk over, Bit of a long walk, but, I have to get back. There's no bus to Disney Springs, So there's like this guy that was standing there that saw me like looking at the board. And I decided I was going to go to Saratoga Springs. And just as I was about to like turn to walk to that bus, he's like, where are you headed? I'm like, well, ultimately Disney Springs. He's like, oh, well, you want to get on like the Saratoga Springs bus? And I'm like, yeah, bitch, I know. Okay. Literally just made that decision. Okay. But yeah. And then he gave me some helpful tips. Okay. Because apparently there's like 4 stops in Saratoga Springs. Okay. It's not like you just go to Saratoga Springs and the bus goes back. There's like 4 stops within it. So it's like, okay, you want to get off at Congress Park if you're going to Disney Springs, because that's the closest to it, and it's going to be about a 10-minute walk. If you stop at one of the first stops, okay, it's going to be like a 30-minute walk or some shit. And I was like, okay, that's not what I want. Okay. Because also it was starting to rain a little bit. I did have an umbrella, but like I wanted to be out of the rain as much as possible. So I'm like, okay, thank you for that. Actually, I know I was kind of a jerk. In my head, I was kind of a jerk to you for a second, but hey, you gave me some helpful insights. Okay, so thank you for that. So yeah, I went to the bus. Then I had to wait 30 minutes for the goddamn bus to show up, and I was just, I'm like, God damn, dude, what is with the transportation today? You know what I mean? Like I've never had to wait that long for transportation at Disney. They're usually like, they're on top of that shit. You know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, so the bus finally gets there. Hop on the bus, drive over to Saratoga Springs, and I'm waiting for Congress Park to come up on the intercom for him to be like, oh, we're stopping at Congress Park, right? We get to the first stop, and a bus pulls up right behind us, and the dude on our bus is like, hey, if anybody's going to Disney Springs, hop on the bus that just came in because that's actually going to Disney Springs. And so I was like, oh shit, so I get off the bus and I hop on that bus. And I get back to Disney Springs. And so by the time I got back to Disney Springs, by the time I got back in my car, it was like 4 o'clock. It took me an hour. It took me an hour to get from the Grand Floridian back to Disney Springs, back to my car, And I'm just like, fuck. But it wasn't that bad, I can't get mad when I'm at Disney. You know what I mean? I was full of life. I was happy. You know, even though it was raining and transportation kind of sucked that day, I was beaming, dude. I was happy as could be. You know? So yeah, I got back in my car and still hit a shit ton of traffic. Like right when I got on 417. Okay. It was like a traffic for days. You know, so I had to sit through that. But you know, it was fine. It is what it is. One thing's for sure though, I don't know when the hell is 417 ever gonna finish construction. I mean that road has been under construction for like it's got to be going on like 10 years now. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Anybody who's been on 417 would know here in Florida. You know that road's just under construction. I mean, dude, I-4 finished construction before 417. I mean that's saying something. You know. Because that I-4 construction project was crazy. You know, I don't even know what the fuck they're doing for 417. I mean, it doesn't really look like they're adding any lanes. It's still 2 lanes in either direction. You know, it just looks like they're repaving. And I'm like, well, then why is it taking 10 years? I don't know. This is a really boring topic to talk about. It's just, it was on my mind because I was just on the road. And I was like, God damn, dude, is this ever going to be finished? You know? I mean, I bet the I-4 eyesore building is going to be finished before they finish whatever they're even doing to 417. I don't even know what they're doing. But yeah, I don't know. Disney was fun. You know, I want to do it again. You know, but like I kind of want to hit up Universal. You know, see like if I could do that with Universal. You know what I mean? Work at Universal because like. The only thing that I wish I had was actually a Disney pass so I can actually go into the Magic Kingdom and find maybe like a cool spot to do some work. You know what I mean? Because, dude, that would be dope. You're just doing work. Dude, imagine being on the People Mover. Just get on the People Mover and open up your laptop and just do some work and just be like, hey, man, can you just like keep me going? That would be sick. I want to do that now. Just slip the operator a 20 and be like, just let me stay on for like an hour. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to do some work right in the People Mover. That would be so sick. Nobody take that idea. I'm doing that, okay? I'm going to get a Disney pass and I'm going to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Just whip out a laptop or an iPad on like Pirates of the Caribbean, Small World, just doing some work. That'd be sick. Haunted Mansion is like, you know, writing a script and you look up and you're like, hey, there's the Hatbox Ghost. That's cool. Okay, back to script writing. Doing that at Universal would be crazy, you know, going on like the Velocicoaster, whipping out your laptop, trying to do some work. But yeah, I mean, because I have a Universal pass, so I might try to do something like that at Universal. Find like a coffee shop. They have a Starbucks, but I'm not going to go to Starbucks because like, dude, I could go to my local Starbucks and do some work. Okay, I want to do some like truly unique spots, you know, that like it's only in Universal that, you know, I could do some work at. But that'd be pretty cool. E.T., that'd be sick. Whipping out a laptop on E.T. and be like, yeah, E.T., you keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to get you back to the planet, but I'm just going to do some work, you know. Since I'm technically not driving, okay, don't worry, I don't have to pedal, you know. So you do what you're doing. I'm here supervising. Okay, I'm gonna do some work while I'm getting you back to the green planet. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I want to do that now. I was thinking about doing that today, but you know, that'd be sick. Recording the podcast. Oh my god, dude, the ideas are just off the chain today. You know. That'd be so sick doing that. Yeah, that was the only thing that bummed me out. When I got to the Magic Kingdom, I wanted to just like walk in, you know. I was tempted. My body almost like turned by itself towards the gate to walk in, but then I was like, I don't even have a pass. So, you know, maybe I could like charm the people working there, just be like, "Hey, what's up? Could you just like let me in?" You know, or just sort of like flow in with like a big ass group, like those like big ass families. There's like 10 people, you know what I mean? And there's like one guy that's got all the tickets, right? And the person just on the dude's phone, just scanning each ticket, right? And they just let the whole family through at once, just like sort of, weasel my way into that group and just sort of like flow in. That'd be sick. No one would know. No one would know. How would they know? I might try that. No, I won't. But maybe. No. No. I kind of want to, but nah. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I really wanted to go into the parks and do that. But, don't have a pass. That shit's expensive, dog. I mean, an annual pass at Disney is like $1,000 And that's probably the Florida resident pass. Okay, so that's probably my discounted ticket is $1,000. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. But yeah, so I'm gonna try doing that at Universal now. Gonna hit up Universal. Actually, go in the parks. The only thing that was like, it didn't suck that bad. I knew it was gonna happen. Was that since I had like a laptop and I had my iPad and the power cord, I even had an umbrella, which apparently is a high security item. I constantly got stopped by security. You would go through the metal detectors and they're like, dog, you gotta go over to the search station, okay? I had to do that every single time. And of course, like you had to go through security for like fucking everything, Getting on the monorail, I had to go through security, Getting on a boat, have to go through security, Getting off the boat, gotta go through security, Going into a hotel, gotta go through security. It's like when I was at the Grand Floridian, dog, like when I got to the Grand Floridian leaving from the Magic Kingdom. So I get off the boat from the Wilderness Lodge. Okay. When I get off the boat, I have to go through security because they think you're going like to the parks, right? So I go through security, right? After security is the entrance to the monorail. Okay. So I get onto the monorail. Then once I get to the Grand Floridian, I have to go through security again to get into the hotel. And I'm like, how would I have gotten some sort of dangerous product that you're not going to allow from the Magic Kingdom? You know what I mean? Like, are you selling guns in the Magic Kingdom? If so, why am I going through security again? I don't know. But like I said, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to get stopped by everyone, just from the laptop alone. But yeah, they kept mentioning the umbrella. So I don't know. I guess umbrellas are just a high security item. I'm like, it's an umbrella. You know what I mean? Like they would open up my bag and they're like, oh, you got an umbrella. That's probably what set it off. And I'm like, really? It was the umbrella? You know what I mean? Like this one lady's like, oh, you got like all the things that are going to set off the thing. You got a laptop, you got an iPad, you got glasses cases. That was another thing because I had my sunglasses case in my bag. They're like, you got glasses cases, you got an umbrella. And I'm just like, really? Who knew that a case for your glasses is a high security item, Like I said, I thought I knew I was going to get stopped, but I thought it was just going to be because of the laptop, because that's typical, but they're like umbrellas and glasses cases. And I'm like, what? So yeah, just keep that in mind next time you go to Disney, I guess, is beware of the umbrellas and the glasses cases. Okay, they're not going to like that. So if you have an umbrella in your bag, just be prepared to take it out. Be prepared to hit up that table where they check your bag. But yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this episode. Whatever you guys are listening to this on, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and leave a review. All that really helps me out a lot. Follow me on social media at RealJLines on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Yeah, gonna go back to Disney. Maybe right now. Do a little bit of work. No, I'm not. I'm actually gonna eat. Okay, I should have had lunch by now. I'm really hungry. Anyways, yeah. Thank you guys for listening. I've been your host, Jay Lyons. Catch you guys in the next video. All right. Love ya. I don't know. Do I?